and decide. Maybe the trees next. Okay, let's do the trees. And then we've got the background, which is going to take a while. Let's do this tree here. Good evening to those of you that are here. Good evening, welcome back. Hello. I had some chicken soup dumplings and some rice. What did everyone else have for dinner? If you've eaten. looking for inspiration. My go-to is normally pasta. I love me some pasta. Do you know I don't like steak? I'm not necessarily a fan of like beef, but I feel like I don't have good enough steak to have enjoyed it. Yeah, I'm a bit funny with meats. If there's gristles, not for me. I don't do burgers, and I rarely do sausage. But I do like potatoes, so that I can get behind. Oh, that's interesting. Are you gonna feed oh, I've forgotten their name, but are you gonna feed the kitten like a raw food diet? What was your kitten called? Did it begin with a G? No. Sausage, that was it. Yeah, I've always been intrigued if I, or when I get another cat, about doing a raw food diet. Because obviously when I had my cat, I was, well, I don't know how old I was when we first got him, but it was like childhood pet, so I wasn't necessarily in charge or even knew about what you probably should feed a cat. But I've been intrigued by the whole raw food diet. Oh, how interesting. It's like he just wants what you've had. It's a very fancy homemade dinner for the little kitten. But they should get only the best, I think. That's the thing with cats, they can get fussy quick, especially if you like one time happen to buy more expensive food and then they don't eat the cheaper food. It's like they know what they want and they know where the good food is. We've got a tree. My little yarn scrap pot is overspinning. Okay, next tree. The tree's the last small bit of the main photo, and then I've got that background, which is definitely gonna hurt my hand looking at it. Oh wait, it's 2 colours. Okay, it's not as big as I thought in one colour. That's not too bad. Thank you for those that have liked the live. Much appreciated. Also, actually, my plan for this piece is that it's going to be... Normally when you punch needle, you put something on the back. Or not normally, sorry. Sometimes you put something on the back, or if you're doing like a rug, you back it. But my plan is to whip stitch the edge so you can see both sides. And now that I'm saying that, there's a gap there that I've just seen. But that's fine, because I can go in with a needle and thread at the end. I don't crochet. I've barely tried, to be honest. But I don't feel like it's the craft for me, you know? I tried knitting when I was younger, but I never kept it up. I like the fact that you don't have to count with punch needle. And you don't have to follow like a, well, that's not gonna work. That should look fine. You don't have to follow a written pattern. To be honest, the back of punch needle is always so neat because the stitches are flat, and then the looped side, because obviously the yarn fluffs up, can or does look messier than the flat side. But the flat side's always so nice. No, not always so nice. The flat side just, it's easier to see what something is on the flat side. But the loop side is just as good. Tufting can be quite something. To be honest, I don't even think the back of tufting necessarily looks neat. Not always, anyway. It's much easier to control a punch needle than it is a tufting gun. That is for sure. And I completely forgot I was meant to make the back look as good as the front, so my stitches are a bit all over the place. That's the thing, because you have to count. I feel like it's a bit like reading, you have to be doing just that one thing. And if you lose count, then it can be a nightmare. At least with punch needle, if you make a mistake, you can pull out your work wherever the mistake is and just redo it. you don't have to restart completely, unless you want to change the colour of something. But I much prefer something that's meditative and can be done whilst other things are being done as well. That's the other thing, like people that can make up crochet like without following a pattern amazes me. It's like people that can make clothes. I just think, how does your brain work to know that that's gonna go together to turn into something? But I guess once you know the basics, things can be quite simple. One thing I like about going live is that I actually get work done, because otherwise I procrastinate on things. And this rug I was definitely procrastinating on, which then means I don't get videos made, I don't get content, and I also don't make any progress. But I can hold myself accountable. Oh, that's so cute. It's a good toy for playing in the dark with as well then, as it glows in the dark. Yeah, drawing as well. Like drawing something realistic just from memory is amazing. But it does all come with practice. It's a bit like when you're cooking or when you're baking, the more you do it, the more you can eyeball how much something is. And then you can start trusting your gut more. Because you're just training your brain to see it. Okay, tree 2 is complete. I don't know if that bit by the cat's legs looks funny. Let's have a little look how the trees are looking. That doesn't look weird. I'm not getting many colours looping together, which is nice. I'm obviously doing something right. Okay. Let's cut that loop. Right, next we'll do... What colour am I doing the sky? I'm going for like a grey. But... do I only bring one colour? I was hoping I had like a duck egg blue, but I don't think I've got acrylic duck egg, only cotton. I think this blue is going to be... What do we think? Should I do... Not that I think any of you can see. Do you think I should do grey for the sky or this blue? My plan was for it to be like a... like an evening-ish sort of vibe in the woods. I don't want the piece to be too bright, you know? I quite like it to be muted, but I can do that with the green. That's a good shout. That makes sense, that using the blue, because then it will look more like evening because you're set, like you say, with the lights. That's a very good shout. I didn't think of that. This is why I like going live when I'm making things, and why I appreciate people commenting in real time, because it helps me make decisions that I might not necessarily see. Because when you're so invested in the art piece, or with like how you want it to look, you don't necessarily always make the right decisions, and then you have to change it. But that comment makes a lot of sense. If it was daytime, I'd put clouds in, but because I'm trying to go for like a dusk sort of vibe, is that one? Okay, I'm leaving the clouds this time. I do tend to put clouds in things. Where's the middle? I can't find it. Where, oh where, oh where are you? Where, oh where? I know there's a trick to finding which end which end of the yarn ball is the end of the yarn, but I don't remember, so I end up just yanking both ends until I find it. Because this acrylic is quite thin, to use this particular punch needle, I need to double it up, because you see how big the hole is. If I was to use just one strand, can you see how much space there is? It would just mean the loops would be inconsistent and they might not stay. So I have to double it up. And the easiest way to do that is to find both ends of yarn. But obviously, sometimes the middle end is a real pain. If I was using like a rug yarn or a chunky yarn, I could get away with just one strand. I'm making a right mess of this. No, sometimes you get lucky, but this one is an absolute mess. And the middle end pulls nicer because the ball doesn't roll around. It should pull through and work through nicely if you can find it. But I'm having an awful time trying to find it. It'll be in here somewhere. Yep, the whole thing's coming out again. Cool. So we've got the same issue like we had with the light brown. Is it there or is that just... Nope. Right, is that going to be the end? In there? No. I do have a ball winder. I've got 2 yarn winders, which actually, funny enough, this green, it doesn't look like it now, but that was wound. This one is wound as well. I mean, look how perfect that looks. It's wound nicely so I can get both yarns. But considering I don't need much, I don't necessarily need to wind to then use, but it does make things take a little bit longer. Yeah, when you use a tufting gun, you definitely need to wind them into little cakes, because as soon as the yarn gets caught, it just unthreads, and it's such a pain to thread a tufting gun. And sometimes you don't even realise that the yarn's fallen out. Oh, there it is. So then you just end up tufting nothing into the cloth. Okay. Success. Threader. Yarn. Oh no, my video's gonna end. So you see now the yarn fits the eye of the needle better, so it's gonna make the loops on the other side more consistent, and they won't be inconsistent and loopy. They'll be tighter like these ones, and flatter as well. My tufting gun is cut pile, so it cuts the yarn for you. What's this going to be? Is this no ads? Doesn't say. Guess we'll find out. Okay, sky time. Question is where to start. Let's put it here so you guys can see. And let me also put this up here. Move that to the side. Perfect. Right, let's do the little gaps first. Is anyone working on any crafting projects at the moment? Not necessarily right this moment, but just in general. The question is this going to show up with the green? Hello, good evening. Transplanting tomato seedlings right now. Transplanting. What does transplanting mean? The fabric isn't Aida, it's monk's cloth. MONKS CLOTH. Took me a minute there to get that. Which monk's cloth has been designed specifically for punch needles, so with a good quality monk's cloth and punch needle, you're set to go. In terms of the tension, the fabric you're using has to be really tight. This is not a good example of tight, but this actually is. Nope, you can't see the hoop. I don't think I can show you very well, but this has got better tension on it, and this helps for your loops to stay in and to stay consistent. This punch needle I'm using doesn't adjust, so it's the same height, so all your loops will be the same height. And then when you punch into the fabric and come up and move across, if you try and keep that distance that you move across consistent, your loops will be consistent. And do the punches come in different sizes? Yes, I can show you what I've got with me down here. So this is what's called a regular punch needle. Size, couldn't tell you the size, it's just regular. You get regular and fine, and this one's regular. This is a regular one, but this adjusts so you can change the length of your loops from the other side. And then where's the other one? There's also this one, which is a Laver fine punch needle, really small. As you can see, the difference between the two. You'd only get one strand of this through here, whereas you can get two in this one. And this just helps make smaller projects and using smaller yarn. I think that's all your questions. Fabric, regulate tension, punches in different sizes. Oh, I see. Yeah, we used to, I'm pretty sure we've had grown tomatoes before, and they are the best. To be honest, most things that are homegrown are the best. See, I started with punch needle, and then I got my tufting gun when I was exposed to the craft more. But if you're used to like sewing or working with yarn, it's a great little craft to get into. Wait, I was meant to check the colours. See, this is the issue. When you, on this side, everything looks not too bad, but when you turn it over, sometimes the colours don't work well together. And I wish I had a darker green. We're going to keep going and see when it's finished how it looks. Everyone has cats. It's like I've got a magnet for cat people, which is perfect for me. But everyone has cats, and I love it. tempted to make a separate chat on my Patreon purely just for cat photos. That'd be great. Yeah, maybe we'll try. Do I want to keep going? What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna punch around the tree completely, and then see how that looks. Because sometimes things look better once you've gone all the way around. So we'll go all the way around with the blue, and then if I have to take it out and redo it, then that's fine. That will have to be done. Maybe. Yeah, that's actually true. The algorithm could have done. And obviously my name is Cat's Corner as well, so could have all played a part. If that's the case, sorry guys. If that's the case, then that's a good working algorithm, if you ask me. That's what we like to see. I used to have a cat. I don't have one anymore. However, he is the logo of my business. Used to be profile picture, but no, I can't refer to that now because I changed it. Let's go to about there. Is your name said Alina or more Alina? Or is it not that at all? If so, what's your cat called? Lena. Lena. As a matter of fact, I've just realised nearly everyone that's commented today in earlier's live and today's live has told me their cat names. I think I've already had 4 cat names. Catalina. Oh, makes sense. Yeah, the stitches are easy to remove. You literally just pull it out, scratch the cloth and go again. Which you might get to see if I decide to change the background. Hey, your name has cat in it as well. So many cats. So what's your cat called? What breed is it? We've had ginger, black and white, and a variation of a point. So many adverts. I should not be getting tired. It's only 7:30. A Donskoy. Fat in Estonia. Oh, I like Hobbit, that's cool. A Donskoy. Donskoy. Ah, Sphinx. Or hairless. One more. Akio, a grey tabby. Wow, you have quite a haul of cats there. Oh wow, 23. Now the best pest control is cats. Hey, you literally sound like this piece of art I'm doing. It's like you were bought here. Although in this world, the pest seems to be the cat. And in terms of how the frame's kept in, it's stapled. So I've stapled it, best showing this side, I think. I've stapled it, but I stapled it wrong. You're meant to put a few staples in here. No. Yeah, only a few should be on the top, and then the side should have more. But I didn't pull it tight enough, so the actual frame itself is really, I don't know if you can see, it's really not very taut. How do I find that video I was watching earlier that had no adverts? Because, there we go. So it's a bit of a faff because I've got to take all the staples out at the end, and then I can just reuse the frame, but that bit is pretty good. Oh, that's crazy. It's almost like, yeah, the algorithm brought you here. Yeah, I don't think the dark blue's gonna work. I wish I had a darker green, but I do not. Or do I? And even if I did, would it work? Yeah, gripper frames can be a great idea. They're actually also pretty easy to make yourself. So if you wanted a bigger frame, all you need is 4 pieces of wood and some carpet gripper. And staple it on, and you've made yourself a frame. And then you can make it any size you want. Yeah, if I do 1 strand of each, all it's going to do is they'll just lay next to each other going round. It doesn't sort of blend together annoyingly. It's not like it's going to wind the two together to create like a mixed colour. It will just punch next to each other, if that makes sense. Oh no, I'm using masking tape to stop all the fraying of the cloth, which can almost be as annoying as little spikes. But otherwise, this cloth frays everywhere. So the tape's just there to stop that happening. I mean, the only other option is I'd use a darker blue. But then will the cat stand out? So many options. Yes, monk's cloth with an S, MONKS, but that will still come up with monk. It's not the cheapest and it's not the easiest to necessarily get. Actually, where are you based? Are you in Germany? Estonia. I was going to say, because I'm pretty sure the company that makes one brand of monk's cloth is German, so it might be easier to get, because I know some countries can't get monk's cloth internally. They have to order it from other countries, but I don't know about Estonia. I'm not too sure. I do have, I'm assuming in the description of this live, I'll have a link, a supplies link that goes to my blog post where I've linked all the materials I use. So you can always do that, go on the Amazon link and see if it gives you an alternative. The US is easy, yeah, the US can buy it in person, online, so you can buy it from the US. I just don't know about delivery. But this cloth, for example, is from Amazon. This is linked under tufting cloth, which is further down on the grid. That was the thing about tufting. I didn't enjoy the gluing, like trying to find, because I don't know about you, but when you look up what glues to use, it's all about Roberts and whichever one they use in America, which we can't get over here. And I did get hold of one, but then it got discontinued. It was like a cheap one from Wix, I think, or Screwfix. And then latex can be a whole new ballgame. Oh, there you go then. I believe, is Michael's still going, or is that the one that shut down? No, that's still going, isn't it? I know Joanne's used to sell it, but I think that one's gone. But if you were to Google monk's cloth US, I'm pretty sure they have it in their department stores. Yeah, Joanne closed. Yeah, I think Michael's might sell it. Best bet would be to find a American creator and see where they get it from. But I know for a fact they can buy it in person, which we can't do in the UK, which kind of sucks. This is acrylic yarn, yeah. Yes. Double knit acrylic yarn. Let me show you. So this that I'm using is called DK, which is double knit. And it's 100% acrylic. This is good for like bigger projects or for small projects if you've got a small punch needle. Oh, special order. And latex is so expensive. The only thing about latex is it does break down, doesn't it, over time? But it is a more natural. Paint box, yes. It's only on lovecrafts.com, but I do believe they do ship worldwide. Again, I don't know about the delivery, but they are linked directly on that blog post as well. They do both cotton and acrylic, so you can get the thick yarn and the thin yarn. But annoyingly, they are only available online at that one company. The other brands I use are these are. I don't know if they're worldwide or not. I don't know what the standard yarn in America is, but you probably have something in your local stores. Doesn't necessarily have to be this brand. It's all the same, to be honest. Sometimes Aldi has a yarn event if you've got an Aldi. God, tired. Oh, okay, Aldi's a supermarket. I don't know if you have it in Estonia. I don't know how far into Europe or into the world Aldi goes. I'm not liking how these stitches are looking, but I have a feeling I'm going to have to take this blue out anyway. I guess I could go for a dark grey background, a dark grey sky, sorry, instead of a light grey. Yeah, they only tend to have, I think they do, I swear they do the yarn event like once a year. And I don't know about anyone else, but people around here go crazy for it. And it just sells out pretty quick. But I'm convinced it's all the same yarn, just with different branding on it. Yeah, I'm gonna have to change this blue. This is the original. It's not really showing the colours properly. If I hold it like that, it's showing it a bit better. It does all come from Turkey. You are right. Yeah, I was trying to go for like a duck egg blue grey, but I always make these designs on Photoshop without looking at my yarn stash. So this always looks how I want it to look, and then I realise I don't have the colours, so I have to experiment. But maybe a dark, no, because a dark grey, the cat will get lost. Doesn't make much sense. Maybe I'll leave, do you know what, I'm going to leave the sky for now. If I have to buy a new yarn, I'll have to buy a new yarn. Thing is, you'll see if anyone watches my YouTube video I make of this when it comes out. I did film a bit of like going up and getting the yarn colours. I do not need more yarn, especially more acrylic. I have a silly amount of yarn. And because I mostly use Love Crafts, obviously you have to spend so much to get free delivery. But if I'm only getting one colour, I could probably go to a charity shop, or there's a shop in town that does yarn. I can get some there maybe, if they've got a colour. That's very true, it doesn't have an expiry date, it just takes up a lot of space. Okay, let's take out this and this. These will have to go into my scrap pot, which is overfilling. I said overfilling again, overspilling. That can go in a different place, but that needs to all go. That can go in a different place, that can go in a different place, that can go in a different place. That can all go in there. Okay, let's scratch these. Is the fabric compromised? No. So now you can scratch it. Let me get closer and hopefully you can see when I scratch it. It closes the weave of the fabric back up. So you can reuse it a few times, to be honest. If I was using like a cotton fabric, well, this is cotton as well, but like a pillowcase, if you made holes, you probably wouldn't be able to do this because the fabric's close together. But this just scratches and moves it all back into place. And there you go again. No, I stopped and came back. I stopped for a few hours. This, for example, when I use this, I might not be able to fix the mistakes because this fabric weave is extremely close compared to this. It is magic, and it's why it's really good for like beginners, because if you make a mistake like that, you can just fix it easily. Right, let's... I don't know about this green now as well, but let's give it a go. We'll go around the bush first to see if it works, and the pebbles. No, I believe it's not treated with anything. Well, that fine weave fabric, I'm gonna test it to see if it will work. It will be more difficult and I need to use a sharper, thinner punch needle, but it should work. You just, like I say, you can't really make any mistakes. Right, do you know what, before I faff with that, let's just cut a length and just test the colour for now. Just put in water and it automatically fixes the yarn in place. Yeah, I quite like when people use that dissolvable paper when they're stitching, and then you then wash away the paper and the stitches stay in place, unless that's exactly what you're talking about. If so, then yes, they have the fabric out there that does it. Well, I think it's a paper, not a fabric. I'm not sure. Dissolvable paper, dissolvable fabric. Right, let's test this against the bush. We will do this side. I'll put it away so you guys can see. I don't think it's going to be a good distinction. might be fine actually. That will be better than this sky. So let's now try it against the pebbles or the stepping stones. Might have to change the stones to a different colour. Which is fine because it's not such a big change. Come on, why are you not? Wow, I've been live for over an hour already. Wow. I guess earlier was an example of how you can get a lot done in an hour when doing punch needle, and this is an example of how it can not be the case. Especially when the yarn doesn't want to play and it just knocks itself up. I don't like having to just cut the yarn and waste it. Well, I still keep the scraps, but in terms of using it in the piece. Did I do it? Oh, yes. Perfect. Patience is everything. I don't think I have the camera at the best angle for what I'm doing. I just don't want to show all the mess. Scissors. But yeah, I appreciate those of you that are spending your evening with me and the live. I don't really plan, well, not even plan, I don't tend to go live too late into the evening just because I purely just get tired. Sometimes I've thought about the idea of doing like a late long live, but I just get too tired. I'll have to change the colour of the stones. I could even make the stones black, to be honest. At least they had the pebbles, they would stand out better. It's currently 8 p.m. What time is it in Estonia? I'm assuming not too far either way. (10 p.m) Okay, 2 hours ahead. Donskoy. Every day is a learning day. Dun, 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 dun. Does anyone have anything nice planned for the weekend? I don't think it's this weekend that the clocks change, but I think I could be completely wrong because today's spring equinox. So is it Sunday? I will Google it. Clocks changing. I know they already changed in America. On the last Sunday in March, so 29th, so next weekend. They spring forward 1 hour. That's just great. We lose an hour of sleep. Do you have an issue with all your cats getting along, or has it always just been like quite simple and easy? Oh, that's pretty good. That's good that they get along. Okay. Okay, let's do a bit more of this green. I don't think that should be an issue. Maybe I should have done the darker colour. Actually, doesn't matter. Either colour's gonna blend. Either colour's gonna blend. That's interesting. Is that the other end? If so, why is it there? Which yarn are you? You are coming from somewhere here. Okay, that's the centre one, but why is it pulling so strangely? It's coming from there. And now coming from... Do you know, I think I'm... Okay. I think I'm genuinely better off doing this off of live, sorting the yarn out, and then coming back tomorrow because it's being a pain. So I think that's what I'm gonna do, peeps. I'm gonna cut the live, sort my yarn out, go read a book, go to sleep, and then come back on live tomorrow, hopefully with my yarn sorted out, so it's not so much faffing and more creating. So again, thank you, and I really appreciate everyone that's hung out with me. I'm currently reading my way through A Song of Ice and Fire, which are the book version, well, the books that Game of Thrones is based on. Well, it is Game of Thrones, but just the books. I'm on the 6th book now, I believe. Hi, Balv. I was about to cut the live so I can call you back. I think I've also been a person that's sat on live untangling yarn for over an hour, not realising how long it'd taken me when I did TikToks. Good evening, everyone. Good evening? Have a good evening. I'll be back tomorrow. And Balv, I'm going to call you now. See you tomorrow, people.